Good afternoon, members of the class of 2013. I'm Mark Thompson, Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all as members of our university community. Would you please rise for the invocation which will be delivered by Father Jonathan Kalish.
Please pray with me. Lord God of love, knowledge, and grace, we invoke your blessing on all gathered here today. Send forth your spirit of wisdom and understanding on the class of 2013. May they delight in new discoveries, persevere in their studies, and always have the desire to learn all things well. Show them the way, the truth, and the life here at Quinnipiac, and fill them with an abundance of joy. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Be seated. It's my pleasure now to introduce Joan Isaac Moore, Vice President and Dean of Admissions, to present the class of 2013.
Welcome, and on behalf of the admissions office, I am thrilled to welcome you to Quinnipiac. It's been a pleasure meeting you in our interviews, at our open houses, and at your high schools, and during orientation weekends. Today is a milestone in your lives. You're gathered here, and will do so again, hopefully on the quad, on a sunny day, in 1,360 days at your graduation. Time will go quickly, and I encourage you to realize the investment that the university, you, and your families are making in your future, and take advantage of the range of opportunities that are ahead of you. I imagine this is a stressful time as well. Change is stressful. But through the work of the student life staff, and especially your orientation leaders, you're already feeling at home, thanks to your OLs. So you can relax until Monday, get to know your classmates, and prepare for an exciting beginning to your Quinnipiac years. This year in admissions, we received more than 14,000 applications from high school seniors, and we congratulate you on being selected to be part of this class. So let me tell you a little bit about yourselves. First, you are our largest class at 1,620 freshmen. And you should also know that with the opening of 520 beds on the York Hill campus for juniors and seniors, you are the least crowded in housing of any freshman class we've had. 78% of you come from states outside of Connecticut, from 31 states, plus Puerto Rico, and 10 countries. 15% have self-identified as students of color. You come from nearly 800 high schools, from Connecticut to California and Maine to Florida. On average, you ranked in the top quarter of your class in high school with 1110 on your critical reading and math SAT. You have lots of time to get to know each other, and just so you know, there are 606 men and 1,014 women. But I'll make it easy for you. What I'd like to ask is, will you raise your hand if your name is Lauren? Raise your hand, Lauren. Alyssa, Nicole, Amanda, Jessica, Samantha, Alexandra, Emily, Jennifer, Catherine, or Megan. That's 20% of the women. And now raise your hand if your name is Michael, Matthew, Robert, Kevin, Ryan, Christopher, John, Daniel, Nicholas, or Andrew. That's 20% of the men. As for majors, 15% of you are in the School of Communications. 25% are in the School of Business. 28% have entered the School of Health Sciences. And 32% have entered the College of Arts and Sciences. 1/4 of you have not yet chosen a major, but you'll have time to decide. And 1/4 of you will be here at Quinnipiac through your graduate degree in programs such as physical therapy, physician assistant, occupational therapy, business, and teaching. Now, when I call your state, I'll ask you to stand and remain standing until all our states have been called, so that we can introduce you to our platform party. First, if you are an international student or an American student from overseas, along with students from Arizona, California, Colorado, stand up as I call your states, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Wisconsin, and Puerto Rico. To join them, I'd like to ask students from Pennsylvania to stand, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. And now we'd like to add our students from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island. And then our 4 largest states, those from Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Mr. President, deans, faculty, and administrators, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2013 to you, 1620 in number. You may be seated. Thank you.
I now have the honor to introduce the president of Quinnipiac University, Dr. John Leahy, to welcome all of you as members of our community.
It's a pleasure on behalf of the entire university community for me to extend a warm welcome to all of you, and certainly my congratulations on being accepted to this freshman class during what you heard from our Dean of Admissions. It was a very, very competitive year in the admissions area, so you're to be congratulated. During your 4 years here at Quinnipiac University, you'll hear a great deal and often about our 3 core values. Those 3 core values are a commitment to high-quality academic programs, a student-oriented environment, and a strong sense of community on this campus. And each of those values offers enormous benefits to you that we hope you will realize during your next 4 years. But each of those values also calls on all of you to take up some important responsibilities. The value of our commitment to high-quality academic programs means that you will be instructed by some of the finest scholars and teachers anywhere in America. And you'll have some of the best equipment and laboratory facilities and classrooms anywhere in America. But you must take advantage of those and apply yourselves beginning with the very first day of class on Monday. Don't give up for a moment, and don't put off your studies for a day. Each year I see, unfortunately, people who come from the same backgrounds that you do with the same abilities, and they don't take their studies seriously from the very beginning, and they dig a hole for themselves during the first half of their semester as freshmen, or the first semester, or even the first year, and they have to work that much harder to come out of that hole in subsequent semesters. So again, take your studies seriously and do so from the very beginning with your first day of class on Monday. We're also committed to a student-oriented environment, and that means you're not only going to get an outstanding education in the classroom, but outside the classroom, you'll find the full range of support services that you might need during your 4 years here. And every student has challenges. and will go through some trying and difficult times. So I ask you to take advantage of the Learning Center when you're struggling with your studies or need a tutor. If you have some health or counseling needs, we have a health center that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you'll undoubtedly experience some noise in your dormitories, maybe in your own room from your roommates. That's why the library is open here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So those are wonderful support services, and we have even more than that. But again, when you have challenges, don't try to take care of those difficulties or challenges all by yourself. There are many people here who are here just to help you to get through those challenging times. And then finally, a sense of community on campus. I trust you'll find this to be a welcoming community, a friendly community. You'll meet some friends and make some friends that will last you a lifetime. You'll also find out that it's a very diverse community, and we are proud of our diversity here. Indeed, we celebrate it. And I want to congratulate this class of 2013. You are the most diverse entering freshman class that we've had in the history of this university. And you will find on this campus and within this community, we are very respectful of your individuality, be it your race, your ethnicity, your national origin, your gender, your religion, or your sexual orientation. But in order for others to be able to be respectful of you, each and every one of you must be respectful of your fellow students and all the members of this community in just those same categories. Enjoy and celebrate and support the diversity that's on this campus. Unfortunately, like many campuses, we've had incidents, and often involving freshmen, where we've had some bigotry expressed, some hate speech and hate mail and hateful activities. I want you to know those types of activities are not tolerated on this campus. And when students engage in those activities, they've been dismissed, expelled from this university, never to return. So again, I think we need your diversity, we need your respect for individuals on this campus, and we know that in turn, your personalities and your individual differences will be greatly respected as well. Again, I'm thrilled that we have the largest, the brightest, and the most diverse class in our history entering today, and you certainly have my best wishes for it. I hope will be a successful freshman year and beyond. Welcome to Quinnipiac, and have a great year.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Louis Venturelli, President of the Student Government Association.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Thank you, Dr. Thompson and the Platform Party. Hello, class of 2013. Congratulations on your acceptance to Quinnipiac. You have taken a tremendous step towards a brighter future. As you flip through the first few pages of this significant chapter in your life, remember that you are embarking on a journey. You will be given the opportunity to create experiences that will shape your very own story. Your setting is Quinnipiac, and your future is to be determined. As previously introduced, my name is Louis Venturelli, but you can just call me Lou. I would like to take a few seconds to share with you my story. I'm a political science major with aspirations of a career in community organization and higher education. As a freshman, I lived what was known as a typical college lifestyle. I went to class, did my homework, and socialized with my friends. Does that lifestyle sound exciting to you? Well, to me, it was as if I were back in high school with even more free time on my hands. My story wasn't anything spectacular. Towards the end of my freshman year, I realized that I didn't want to just live a typical lifestyle, but a lifestyle that would challenge me to grow as a student leader. I joined a fraternity and was exposed to the principles of our Greek life system, academics, community, and leadership. I ran for a seat on the student government and served as a representative, and today I stand before you as student body president. Some might say that this isn't your typical college life story, and although it may not be typical, I'm here to tell you that it certainly is not impossible. As a college freshman in an unfamiliar environment, you have new responsibilities for yourself and for each other. For yourself, you must strive for academic excellence. However, your education does not just include making the grade and studying. For it was Martin Luther King Jr. who said, "Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of a true education." I couldn't agree more. For each other, you must remember that respect and acceptance is essential to a community that fosters friendship, diversity, and inclusion as its guiding principles. Look around you. Take a second to turn your head to the left, and then take a second to turn your head to the right. Among you are the future teachers of America, scientists that will find cures for heart disease, cancer, and AIDS. You're sitting with the next student body president and perhaps the next future president, the future president of the United States. You're sitting with future journalists and authors, executive directors and movie producers, future physical therapists, occupational therapists, and athletic trainers. Some of you will play instrumental roles in Fortune 500 companies and the development of our growing cities and towns. The possibilities that are before all of you are truly endless. As we all know, there are 24 hours in a day. For some of us, 8 of those hours are spent sleeping. That's probably not the case for a college student. Another 8 of those hours are spent going to class, working, and doing our homework. Another 3 of those hours are reserved for meals and socializing with our friends. This leaves just 5 hours in a day for us to do something extraordinary with our time. No, Facebook is not extraordinary, nor is checking your updates on Twitter. However, use that time to help your roommates study. Use that time to program a community event. Use that time to organize a service project in a third world country or even in our very own nation. Dream big and give everything your best. For life is a gift, so use your time, your spare time, to achieve something for the greater good. As you orient yourself with this university, you will learn the names such as Samuel Tater, Murray Lender, Clarice Buckman, Judge Philip Troop, and Carl Hansen. These individuals are a mere few to name for the success of our institution. They all left a substantial impact on this university, not only because they loved it, but because they had a belief, and with that belief came a vision. They took opportunities that were presented to them, overcame obstacles, and left their mark on something that was greater than themselves. So today, my advice to you is to take every opportunity that comes your way. If there aren't any opportunities that meet your needs, then that is your opportunity itself. Go out and join some of our countless organizations that leave such a great impact on our community. Take courses that you never thought you would have taken before. Study abroad. Give everything your best, and remember to leave your mark. My friends, before you pick up your pen to begin your first chapter, think of what you want the end of your story to look like. And remember, those who often take the greatest chances are often the ones who always succeed. Live the legend, and God bless. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. In preparation for your successful journey that lies ahead, let us recite the Quinnipiac Student Creed to remind us how we will strengthen as a community. Your legend begins here. I now ask you to join me in reciting our Student Creed, titled Live the Legend, located on the back of your program. I choose to be a member of the Quinnipiac University community. I strive for integrity, responsibility, and academic excellence. I respect and value all members of this diverse community. I embrace the inclusion of all people. I preserve Quinnipiac's traditions of pride and spirit. Together, we are the architects of our future. We are the legend. That was very nice. Thank you. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you 2 individuals that have been very instrumental in the facilitation of your orientation programs. These 2 seniors have spent countless hours ensuring a seamless and beneficial program to introduce you to the Quinnipiac community. Without further ado, I would like to call up Jennifer Waltz and Zachary Naiman to recite for the last time this summer the legend of the Bobcat. Thank you.
The legend of the Bobcat. The Indian spirit Habamak was doomed to eternal sleep when a spell was cast over him, but his ferocious companion, a stealthy giant bobcat with vibrant blue and fiery gold eyes, was spared such a fate. Habamak now sleeps soundly, belly up, forming the peaks of the sleeping giant mountain.
Today, the confident and devoted bobcat loyally defends its now sleeping giant and all that falls in its shadow. From time to time, the bobcat can be spotted around campus, watching over our school. Legend says that the bobcat will allow no harm to come to those swift and brave enough to rub its paw. The class of 2013 will be the first class given the opportunity to sign the Book of the Legend, a book of traditions dedicated to the members of the Quinnipiac community and created by your very own Student Government Association. Your orientation leaders will inform you when the book is available, so you can sign your name and leave your mark. Thank you, and live the legend.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kevin Basmadjian, Assistant Professor of Education, who will deliver the faculty address.
I first want to know if I could borrow your cheering section, Lou. That's a cue. Thank you, Vice President Thompson, and good afternoon, President Leahy, Cabinet members, trustees, administrators, faculty, and staff at Quinnipiac University. And good afternoon and welcome, class of 2013. The path each of you has taken to arrive here today is unique, significant, and no doubt by some combination of chance and design. It is unique because each of you comes from a different place and family background, and because each of you navigated a distinct set of challenges to become a member of the newest member of this community. Your path is significant because it means you made many good decisions during the first 18 years of your life. Perhaps not all good decisions, but enough so that you now have some control over the next 18 years of your life and beyond. I say some control because chance has probably played a role in bringing us together today and will likely play a role in our futures as well. The unique, significant, and perhaps fortuitous path you have taken to arrive here parallels the journey a young boy named Barack Obama took to eventually become our current President of the United States. As you learned from reading his memoir, Dreams of My Father, the first 18 years of Obama's life were quite unique, in fact, extraordinarily so. He was born in Hawaii to a father from Kenya and a mother from Kansas. When he was 6 years old, he moved to Indonesia, where his stepfather Lolo taught him how to slaughter chickens for dinner. Eventually, as chance would have it, Barack returned to Hawaii, where he was admitted into the highly selective Punahou Academy. Upon graduation from high school, Obama hastily decided to attend Occidental College in California because, well, he met a girl who lived not far from that school. Perhaps a few of you are here at Quinnipiac today for similar reasons. As Obama recollects, I was just going through the motions, as indifferent towards college as towards most everything else, until that is his sophomore year, when he made the decision to participate in a campaign to persuade Occidental to divest from companies that supported apartheid in South Africa. While speaking to his fellow classmates at a campaign rally, Barack Obama found his voice and began the process of discovering his self. I raise the parallels to a young Obama not to imply that each of you will someday become President of the United States, although, as Lou pointed out, it's certainly possible. And if that happened, we might invite you back to give this address. I suspect we might. But I make the comparison to Obama to encourage each of you to learn from his story, to share and be guided by the unique gifts and experiences you bring to this community, to make decisions that are thoughtful and informed, yet daring and bold, to leave as little as possible of your time at Quinnipiac to chance, or worse, to indifference and distraction. Thus, I urge you to forge an intentional path for yourself over the next 4 years, seizing every opportunity for self-discovery, for finding and strengthening your voice, and for actively participating in the community of which you are now a part. Obama speaks to the importance of community throughout his memoir. Commenting on the lack of direction in his life at the end of his sophomore year in college, he writes, "What I needed was a community, one that cut deeper than the high fives I might exchange on the basketball court. I needed a place where I could put down my stakes and test my commitments." So as you begin your journey today, I ask each of you, what are your stakes? How will you find a community in which to test your commitments? Obama found the community he sought at Columbia University, but not because it was passively waiting for him as he began his junior year. Rather, he found it because he sought and created opportunities that made Columbia into what he wanted for himself and those around him, an intellectual community in which he could explore, discuss, and challenge his own and others' beliefs, ideas, and perspectives. So what do I mean by an intellectual community? Traditionally, universities were intellectual communities because they were places where scholars imparted knowledge to students, who in turn became enlightened. They were places where students were regarded as empty vessels, eager and waiting to be filled with knowledge that was external, fixed, and indisputable. We think of the intellectual community at Quinnipiac University in very different terms. While faculty scholars remain a vital part of our intellectual community, so do you as students, and the perspectives you bring to discussions and activities within and beyond the classroom. After all, it is through your unique experiences that knowledge is challenged and brought to life. It is through your diverse beliefs and backgrounds that panel discussions become engaging and relevant to our lives and futures. It is through your initiation and commitment that issues and concerns are invited into our community for action and debate. But as we learn from Obama's memoir, our intellectual community can only flourish when each of us acts with courage, compassion, and commitment. When we act and speak in these ways, we stand up for what we think and believe, but in ways that value others' perspectives. Let me offer an example. Last spring, I taught a course in which my students and I explored the conflicting goals of public education. Most of my students saw education as a private commodity that serves chiefly to allow individuals to achieve status in society. But one student viewed it quite differently, as a public commodity in the service of creating and maintaining a fair and just society. With courage and compassion, the dissenting student shared her perspectives with the class. Her ideas were thoughtful and well-informed, as she had carefully read and annotated the week's readings. But perhaps most importantly, she presented her views in a way that was thoughtful of others' perspectives. In short, she exemplified what it means to act and speak with courage, compassion, and commitment. Of course, not all the ideas and perspectives you share in this intellectual community will be articulate and well-informed. In fact, my experience suggests that some of the best discussions occur when students share ideas that are undeveloped, imperfect, or incomplete, or when they find the courage to interrogate disciplinary knowledge or to challenge their professors' beliefs and ideologies. In a course I teach on diversity, I remember discussions my students and I had about male privilege in our society. I had presented data to suggest that in spite of progress that women have made in recent decades, male privilege still exists in the United States. Most of my students were satisfied with the evidence, but one student raised his hand and respectfully disagreed. His insights were neither polished nor sophisticated, but they advanced our discussion in ways that deeply expanded our understanding of privilege. After class, I thanked him for his courage and his commitment and the respect he showed toward his classmates' perspectives. The intellectual community at Quinnipiac extends well beyond the boundaries of our classrooms. If you're interested in serving Habitat for Humanity, for example, or in starting a campaign to reduce bottled water on campus, then in Obama's terms, put down your stakes and test your commitments. Act and speak with courage, compassion, and commitment, and don't allow others to distract or discourage you. If you'd rather attend a lecture on animal rights or the politics of greenhouse gases next Friday night than hang out with your friends, be courageous and tell your friends, but in a way that honors their friendship. And who knows, you might even find that your friends, too, are more interested in animal rights issues than yet another night on the town. When you act and speak with courage, compassion, and commitment, you help to cultivate an intellectual community that is inclusive of all voices and respectful of the ways in which each of us is different from one another. And if and when you witness the mistreatment of others, you must draw upon the strength and courage of our entire community to speak out in ways that educate, not condemn, those who do harm. One important quality of an intellectual community is that every challenge or problem can be transformed into an opportunity to teach and learn, rather than condemn and pass judgment. But acting and speaking in this way requires courage, compassion, and sustained commitment. Scholars refer to you as the millennial generation. They say you're more focused on the final destination than you are on the journey, and that you're constantly online in a variety of venues, including texting, Facebook, and YouTube. Although I wish it wasn't the case, I suspect a few of you are texting right now about your plans for tonight. If you receive such a text from your BFF, that's best friends forever for those on the platform, perhaps you'll find the courage to text back, "Not now, I'm listening." But I wonder if scholars are wrong when they say you're less interested in the journey. Perhaps it's just a different kind of journey, one that's focused more on social or environmental issues, or one that is enjoyed as much online as it is face-to-face. The challenge for us all, then, is how to merge our worlds so we can grow and learn with and from each other, so that we can, in Thoreau's words, live deep and suck out all the marrow of life from this intellectual community we call Quinnipiac University, so that we can, as Obama writes, find the determination to resist the easy or the expedient. Regardless of whether your path to Quinnipiac was by chance, design, or some mysterious combination of the two, as Obama writes, you still have a claim on how it is shaped. You still have responsibilities. As you walk away from today's ceremony, I urge you to think about your responsibilities and how you might begin to put down your stakes and test your commitments. I encourage you to seek every opportunity to learn, not only from your courses, but from the entire intellectual community of which you are now a part. To find the confidence in yourself to respectfully disagree with others in your QU 101 class next week. To read widely and deeply. To drink coffee with your professors as you share ideas about our world and future. I'd like to close my talk with an excerpt from an essay by Robert Hastings called "The Station." In it, the author compares life to a train ride and suggests that the final destination, the station, is always uppermost in our minds. When we turn 18, when we buy a new car, when we get a job. When these things happen, then we will be happy. At the end of his essay, the author cautions readers, quote, "Sooner or later, we must realize there is no station. No one place to arrive at once and for all. The true joy of life is the trip. The station is only a dream. It constantly outdistances us. So stop pacing the aisle and counting the miles. Instead, climb more mountains, swim more rivers, watch more sunsets, laugh more, cry less, and I might add, ask more questions, attend more lectures, meet more people unlike you, challenge knowledge, develop new interests, act and speak with courage, compassion, and commitment." The author concludes his essay, "Life must be lived as we go along. The station will come soon enough." On behalf of the entire faculty at Quinnipiac University, welcome to our community and best wishes as you begin and enjoy this very important journey in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Basmadjian. Following the ceremony, you're all invited to attend a barbecue to welcome all of you to our community, and there'll be seating available in Alumni Hall as well as the dining facility. Would you all please rise for the benediction? And please remain standing following the benediction until the platform party recesses, and then follow the direction of the orientation leaders who will lead you out. The benediction will be delivered by Rabbi Rena Judd.
I know, you're just jonesing to get out into the rest of your lives. And on the completion of my words, you will do just that. You will walk into the beginning of the rest of your lives. The results of your choices hereby will become all the more so of your own making. Choose wisely, using the wisdom of your personal experience, the wisdom your elders have generously bequeathed to you, the wisdom your parents and family have lovingly shared with you. Choose carefully, care about your choices, understanding they might become your reality. Choose kindly, knowing the people with whom you are about to be involved want your kindness as much as you want theirs. Choose fearlessly, with a source of adventure greater than before. Open your soul, embrace the opportunities you are hereby being given, and jump into the magnificent future you are being presented with. Be truthful with others, but mostly with yourself. Work hard on everything, but work hardest on finding and being your authentic, truthful person. Go into your future with friendship, with love, and with God. Have a good time. Oh, yeah.